Welcome, everyone. This is Lee Andrews from Akathame. So glad you're all able to join us today. And if you are watching this on the flip side on the recording, we're glad that you are watching on the recording as well. We're going to go through and introduce everybody on the call in just a moment. For those of you who don't know Akathame, we are an international firm focused on talent, recruitment, attraction, retention, all those kind of cool things that keep people happy and engaged in an organization and staying there. And speaking of which, we have got 3 women on this call who know how to do some remarkable efforts inside the HR domain. They're going to introduce themselves in just a second. If you have any questions, please post your comments or questions live in whatever platform you're using, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We will get them all. Welcome, welcome. So today's focus is an introduction on what CHRA is doing for the spring conference, which is one of their biggest events every year. And we never really get the inside scoop on that, right? So this is the first time we're actually hearing about this before the conference, and we get to go behind the scenes with the leaders of this event, which is a big deal. So we're going to start with Aubrey. Aubrey, would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lee. My name's Aubrey Scheppske. I am the office administrator, which is part of the HR team at Gordon Feinblatt in Baltimore, the law firm. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Lori, how about you?
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lori Raggio. I'm the CEO of Inspire Greatness Coaching and Consulting, and also a board member of CHRA. And the spring conference has held a very important place in my heart, probably for about 18 years.
Oh, wow.
So glad to be here.
Wow. And you're the first dual two-time elected president of CHRA. Is that not right?
Yes. So it's just basically saying that I'm getting old.
Or your help is really needed and appreciated by the association and organization.
That too. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Amanda, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amanda Russo with Daphne McCune Walker, an engineering firm in Towson. This is my day job, but on the flip side, I am the director of the spring conference this year.
Okay, amazing. Let's and Amanda, let's also level set the room here. We are talking about the CHRA Spring Conference, and to be a board member and working on this conference is an act of love. You are not getting paid for this. It is countless hours of planning and logistics and getting speakers. So thank you for your service on behalf of our entire community. So let's start with the date. Amanda, when is the conference and how is it going to be held? What's the venue?
Well, this year's conference is a 2 half-day event. We have the afternoon sessions on Wednesday, April 14th, and morning sessions on Thursday, April 15th. We are doing it all virtually, and we're hosting it on a platform called Whova. And that is where everything, communities, the sessions, anything involving networking will be hosted. So it's a one-stop shop sort of thing for everyone, sponsors, exhibitors, and attendees.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So do users need to download specific software to attend the event? Is this going to require a technical engineering degree?
No, you'll receive a link with the information, or an email with the information and a link. You just click on your link. We are going to ask everyone to register early and set up your profile. You can put your photo, you can put your LinkedIn information, anything that you want to be able to connect with others. You can do that ahead of time and get that all taken care of.
Interesting. And out of curiosity, and this is to probably Lori with the experience of the past, what's the average attendee at this conference?
Well, the spring conference for many, many years has just grown tremendously. and in 2019, we were rated about 500 participants, which was our top number. And Amanda has been the director of the spring conference. This is her 3rd year, right, Amanda? Yeah.
Well, it would be the 4th, but we had to cancel last year. So, 3rd. We had to count last year.
Okay, that's something I learned. I didn't realize you were on this for 3 years. Wow.
I took over from Lori. Lori's trained and mentored me through the process, and so
Yeah. So talk to me about how this is actually going to work. So if you've got people that are on the conferencing, how are they going to engage in this conference format, this online conference format? Why don't we go to Aubrey? Can you answer that for us?
Sure. And it's actually, I can answer a little bit better because I actually attended the fall and they used the similar app, which is you can do everything from this little app. It's quite amazing. There's everywhere from networking. You can actually talk to exhibitors in advance or during the time that you're actually attending the event. And then we'll have actual access to speaker profiles and their LinkedIn information. So you can start following your favorite person all before even actually hearing from them directly during the conference.
That's incredible. What's the name of that package again? I want to make sure that I share it with everybody.
It's going to be Whova is the app.
Can you spell that? Is it H-O-O or H-U-B?
Is it WHOOVA?
Yes, correct.
W what?
WHOOVA. Whova.
I
The
couldn't
W is silent.
express that spelling for nothing. So check that out. So it's CHRA on Hoover.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So who are some of the speakers that are going to be there? Like can you divulge who our, name brand is?
Yes, we can. The agenda's out, so we're not divulging any confidential information at this time. We are very fortunate to have 4 keynote speakers, 2 each day, and sandwiched in between, we have our breakout sessions. But I'll let Lori talk about our opening keynote on April 14th because she has a great relationship with her.
Oh,
yeah, it's Karen Hurt, and Karen and actually her spouse have an organization, a leadership organization together. And Karen was going to be our keynote for the 2020 conference before it had to be canceled due to COVID. But she's an amazing speaker. She is all over social media. She and her spouse have written a few books together, and she just has this energy that draws you immediately in, and she's going to be excellent. Do
do you know what the focal point is of her presentation?
Amanda, what's the title? I don't remember.
The title is Courageous Cultures, How to Build a Team of Micro Innovators, Problem Solvers, and Customer Advocates.
So she's really about change. It sounds to me she's really about helping an organization go from point A to point B in a more methodical way and making sure you have the right people to do it. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes.
Having never talked to her. But that's what it sounds like. Okay, great. And Amanda or Lori, did you want to talk about the other keynotes? I think there were 3, right? 3 more?
Yes, we do. In the afternoon on Wednesday the 14th, we have Frank Warren of the Post Secret Project. And I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him, but he sent out postcards to random people and asked them to put a secret on it and send it back to him. And he's made a collection of books. And it's all about the exploration of your secret self. So his session is called Pandemic Secrets and the Transformative power of sharing our stories. So just kind of how we open up and how we learn about ourselves, which is always a very important thing.
He also has some very interesting TED Talks that are available. Really amazing presenter. And I know one of the TED Talks I watched, someone had shared their secret on a Starbucks napkin and sent it into him like that. I mean, he gets them from all over the world in all different formats. And it's amazing.
Wow. So we're going to be building organizations. We're going to be in a tell-all situation. We're getting it off our chest. And who are the other 2?
And that's just the first day. So on the second day, we have, in the morning, we have the mental toll of COVID-19 being presented by J. Corey Feist, who is the co-founder of the Dr. Lorena Bren Foundation. And you may have heard of Dr. Bren. She was a frontline worker in a New York City emergency room and treated patients with COVID, and ultimately took a toll on her mental health, and she committed suicide. So he and his wife created this foundation to explore how do we help our people. They are focused in the medical field, but their practices and what they're fighting for translates over to everyone, and how important focusing on mental health for our workers, for ourselves, truly is. And so he has a lot of interesting stories and things to share with us. And then the last speaker on April 15th is Lieutenant Colonel Jason Harris of the No Fail Trust, who will be talking to us about how to embrace our new reality. So, Thursday we have a little more of a COVID focus and how it's affected us and how to move forward, because we do feel that we've heard from our attendees and membership that these are the things that are important. So when you hear about our speakers and our sessions, we've really tried to take the comments and requests that we've gotten through the fall conference and just sent into CHRA and tried to put together a program that helps everyone.
So I'm sensing a theme here. Was there an intention to selecting these people around a specific theme?
Yeah.
Lori, go ahead.
Yeah, there really was, and I think it has to do with the theme that we came up with for the conference, which is HR Catalyst for a New Reality, moving forward together.
Yeah.
So realizing again that we are all experiencing this, and then hearing from our members that HR truly is in a role of a catalyst of change in our organizations, and especially over the last year or so. We've had to be the catalyst of many changes due to the global pandemic. So we really wanted to capture that in helping all of our members to do that in a way of taking care of themselves as well as, their organization.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I want to throw this out there to get all of your thoughts on this. I think that HR is a vast profession, but we are also very limited to the people that we connect with. So finding your tribe, so to speak, in our profession is really important. And I don't think just for skill advancement, but I also think for mental health and wellness, right? So do you believe, and I can hear this happening with where this conference is going, it's really about change, understanding what happened in that course of change and coming out the better for it. That's what I'm hearing is happening. So Amanda, this is the first year on the conference for you, right?
No, it's my third year.
Oh, not Amanda, I meant Aubrey. I'm sorry.
Aubrey. No, it's actually going to be my third year.
I don't know anything about people.
That's okay.
So all right. It's your third year as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, but I did attend previously before I was actually part of the conference committee. And I can just tell you the relationships that have been built, which I think are extremely important during pandemic times, because we have all lost that, the touch, the personal interactions, stopping by somebody's office, going to a conference and exchanging numbers and those type of things, which is one, why we chose the theme that we did, but also engaged with HUVA, which again, the fall conference used, because the connectivity, people just think sometimes that it's virtual, you'll still lose that connection. What am I getting out of it? I can just tell you from the fall conference, and I was just an attendee, not part of the actual conference committee. I made many connections out of there that I are just spend a lot of time chatting with, just randomly checking in on each other. And I can just tell you my mental health, I believe, has been affected positively because of that, because of the relationships and because of the networking that was done, not intentionally. I didn't come to network. I came just to learn, but it's kind of something that just happens organically. And I can just be very thankful that CHRA provides this for us.
That's terrific. So we're at a point, we've got quite a few people watching on the other end. Again, thank you all for joining. You have joined the CHRA inside look at the spring conference this year, which has 4 key headliners. And we're all, and this conference theme is really about change, adopting that change, understanding how HR is affected and been affected with all this change. So, Lori, I want to ask you, you're in the business of really helping people advance in their career and their lives. And so when you're talking about this conference and you're talking about the community of CHRA, can you give me some examples of how this helps people in their careers, in their, whether it's the strategic part of their career or in just staying focused, healthy?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a couple things that the conference touches on. One, from an educational standpoint, I mean, you heard the kind of speakers that we have are extremely engaging. We also have 6 recertification credits available. 2 of those are business. And I know some of our senior HR professionals in our membership many times are looking for those business credits. So that's one way. Another way is that through this app, there's the ability to interact with each other starting 2 weeks prior to the conference. And not only people who have registered, but also vendors, sponsors, speakers. So already 2 weeks before you even jump onto the conference, there's an ability to outreach, to network, to ask questions, to find out people who maybe you're looking for a particular resource or something like that. And one of the things that I have done this year is that I have become one of the vendors. And so I can kind of speak from that standpoint too. I mean, I saw it as, a really great opportunity. I mean, vendors this year have the ability to gain access to the emails of our participants to be able to connect with them. We've never had that ability before in our conference.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got Bettina chiming in here, says Frank Warren and Secret are incredible. Having them speak will be a very impactful session. Thank you for sharing that, Bettina. And so let's talk about the cost for this event. What is the entrance fee, Amanda?
The entrance fee for our members before March 24th is $185. If you're a student and you want to come, it is $92.50 before March 24th to register. And that's about the 2-week mark prior to, so that you get entrance to it immediately and start having the ability to take advantage of everything.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And in terms of the average, I'm curious about the audience, the attendees. And I'll ask Amanda or Aubrey this. I'm really going to get Amanda and Aubrey straight by the end of this call. So,
interchangeable, it's fine.
Aubrey, do we have an understanding of the level of experience that this type of event attracts in HR? A lot of these students, are a lot of them mid-career, advanced, or what?
I'm happy to share, especially with being an attendee each year, as well as, coming to the committee. I have met people from students because we offer scholarships. We offer a bunch of different things for the students when they come in, all the way up to your highest SVPs, presidents. Previously, one of my presidents attended. So I can tell you, you get people from all walks of life, all areas of their career, all businesses. And it's really nice to see some different perspectives just from so many different people. I've gotten a lot of great ideas and a lot of great resources, as Lori had mentioned, just from organically attending.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Amanda, this is going to be a question that we did not, just so the audience knows, I always let them know what the key questions are that I'm going to be asking, and then I just go on my merry way. And this is one of those merry way questions, Amanda. So I know that when managing teams of all sizes, and when I approved budgets for them to go to these conferences, I would ask them, what are you trying to get out of it? What is the one thing that you want to get out of that conference, out of that conference? And if they couldn't answer that, I wouldn't say no. It would be a matter of, I want you to go back and think about this because this is, 2 days of your life or a week of your life, whatever it was. And so I would get all kinds of great responses back. If I were reporting to you, Amanda, what would you say or if I were asking you to give me that ammo because I needed approval for this, what would you suggest that person who's trying to get funding for this say? What should they be able to generate from this conference?
Definitely, when we were choosing our sessions and our speakers, we wanted people that were going to give us takeaways that people could take and go back to their organizations and implement immediately. And everyone we did pick has something. We have 2 sessions, one each day on diversity and inclusion, and how it's impacted their organizations and what people can do within their own companies and organizations to help facilitate growth there. We have for those that are just starting out or the HR department of one that want to advance their career. We have a session just for you to go, all right, this is what I need to do. This is how I can move my career along. If we have businesses with an older generation that may have been retiring prior to the pandemic, we have a session on why everyone may be thinking of it or rethinking retirement, because what has the pandemic done to their Social Security and retirement thoughts? Then, we need a little laughter. So there is one session where how to lead your people with laughs. How do you make people just comfortable and enjoy work? Because work is hard. It can be stressful, but you do need to have some fun with it. That's where you get your passion. So how do we do that? And then the one session on the new normal. How do we navigate these changes? Because they happen so fast. And all right, so we've sort of successfully navigated COVID. What's going to come down the line and how do we prepare ourselves? So those are the kinds of things that I would say, take away. I'm going to come back with these tools to navigate each one of these areas. And, also, with like the Post Secret and Jason Harris, how we rebuild ourselves and a little self-exploration and how to make yourself better and more a bigger benefit to your organization because you know what's going on.
Okay, I'm typing as fast as I can so that our audience has all these in their notes so that when they go to their managers, they've got, let's just make sure that I qualify this last one, making yourself better. It doesn't mean that you're not well. It means that we're taking what you have and we're elevating and accentuating what makes you good to make you great. So, and stand out. Is that a fair assessment there, Aubrey?
Absolutely. Anything that we can do for self-care and, anytime that we're doing well, we can then facilitate that for our teams, and then we're better for them, which then is better for our clients or our customers, which is then better for everybody. So anytime I was looking to put that out there, I would add in, there's a lot of benefits personally that I can take away from this because it translates across professional, but also I think a little personal too.
Got it. And we've had some new people join us, and the call is almost over. So I'm only kidding. So, but I do want to let those of you who just joined, this is the team that is putting together the CHRA Spring Conference. And we're talking about what's gone into it. And we talked about the cost for individuals. I do want to talk about sponsorship. I know that sponsorship is limited. So what is available for sponsors to become part of this event?
We actually still have 2 available elite sponsor spots, and the cost for that is $2,000.
Okay. And that doesn't sound like a lot. So you're getting exposure to key buyers, key influencers, key decision makers. Your brand will get out there. What else do they get for that 2,000? I know that you're advertising them somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, they actually get a booth like the vendors do as well, that they can be extremely creative. They can use video. It's like having a regular booth, but it's virtual.
Got it.
Again, they have access to registrants 2 weeks prior. They can be creative. They can, have different giveaways. They can do all different kinds of things to interact with registrants.
Nice.
And they do get a video played before each of our keynotes or one of the keynotes. So they do have like a little commercial or just introduction of themselves that they can set up and have run prior to our keynote starting.
So would you say that they've got at least 10 to 15 minutes on each day or a half an hour on each day of visibility, or more than that?
Yes, and it's actually because these sessions are going to be recorded and you'll have access to them later on. They have the continued availability and access and being seen and heard. Yeah,
so that's great shelf life. And so that's a really important part of marketing and branding, is making sure that branding is available going forward. Is the Elite the only package that you have available, or do we still have others available? You can, Amanda, if you know what that is.
We still have exhibitor vendors like Lori still available, and our networking has been all sold out. So the networking membership is sold out, but we still have exhibitor packages and the Elite sponsorships.
Yeah, I knew the sponsorships were selling out fairly quickly. So if you want to get in, what's the latest that they've got until? I mean, that's obviously until they're gone, but what's the typical deadline for that?
I would say March 24th, because again, 2 weeks ahead, you want to have as much time and availability in that application and reaching out and networking with everybody.
Terrific. Well, we got a lot of ground covered here. In the last 3.5 minutes, what I would like to do is, again, ask you an unprepared question. And I know that you've all been a part of the organization far longer than I have. I've been a part of SHRM in other parts of the country, but this is my second year with CHRA. Why CHRA for you? Why do you do this? I mean, this is countless hours of work that you have put in to this event, year over year over year, and some of you decades. So Aubrey, why CHRA for you?
Honestly, I felt like it was a family that I really needed. I came from a lot of different places where I was an HR person of one. So I didn't have those mentors, didn't have the ability to make those relationships. And I found CHRA very early in my career, so I was lucky. And the connections with Lori, she's the reason I'm on the spring conference, because of Lori. So there's just permanent relationships that are made there. The connection from HR, the resources that are available. You can ask that person you were at the conference with 6 years ago that you still talk to, like, hey, I've had this really quick problem. What did you do in a situation like that? So that connection, because especially in a pandemic time, I can't tell you how valuable that resource has been for me for the last 12 months. So that's why I stick with CHRA. It's invaluable to me.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Aubrey. And thank you for your service, Aubrey. Amanda, what about you? Why CHRA? I mean, there are other HR organizations that we could all be a part of. Why CHRA for you?
Again, like Aubrey, I was a department of one, and I was just going to the conferences and I was meeting people, but I needed that bigger network. And I was like, what better way than to volunteer? So volunteering is what got me into it. And then I liked it. And Lori said, hey, do you think you want to do the conference? And I enjoy it. It's a great experience. I've met wonderful people, understanding how, different businesses and different HR, like the big HR departments versus my little one-person HR department and how they operate. It's been great. And the ideas that just organically happen, whether it's for a conference or just, hey, I was, discussing a problem at work and, while you're waiting for a meeting to start, has been the best and you can't replace that, and you can't make it happen. It just happens when you volunteer.
Just happens when you volunteer. I think that's the key.
I love that.
With the volunteering, it just happens when you volunteer. I think that could be like our slogan, right?
Yeah.
It happens when you volunteer. Oh, see? And Lori, you seem to be the nucleus of this little gathering. So everything seems to start and end with you. So what is it? 18 years, you said?
Well, I think at this point, CHRA is a network of HR professionals that I feel like I can give back to and that I owe. I mean, when I started with CHRA, I think it was like 2000, and that was, earlier in my career, and I was looking to grow myself and just learn. And that's what the organization provided to me. And at this point in my career, I'm really at a place where I can give back. And probably kind of like a connector. So yes, as I meet different people in CHRA, I find out what it is that they're interested in and try to connect them to a committee or connect them to other people.
And you've done that for me as well. Ladies, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. This has been extremely insightful to get an inside look at CHRA's spring conference, which is coming up on April 14th and 15th, if I remember correctly. We still have sponsorships that are available. Only 2 elite, though, are left. And we've got membership is obviously open. And if you get in before, March 24th, you said?
Yeah.
March 24th, it's 185 and then 92, I believe, or 95.
Yeah.
Okay, for students, that's great.
Right.
So it looks like we lost Aubrey. So, so her internet connection is probably struggling where she is, but we thank her for joining us. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me or connect with Amanda, Lori, or Aubrey. So thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.